On it to
Rela-
go. Hi, everybody. Welcome to BizChicksTV. This is the place to be for tips, tools, and strategies to help you build a profitable business that's fun to run and take the hassle out of your hustle. Today is Tuesday, so you know what that means. We have the digital diva in the house, Terry Johnson, online from New York City, here to help us with all of our social media madness and our digital strategies. So, without further ado, we want to say thank you, TJ, for stopping in and helping us out. And here is TJ.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another week of talking about talking about marketing. and so the topic of this show is promote or build. I think that's what I put up. Promote or build. So what does that mean, promote or build? So we're talking about social media, and this has to do with the news of that just lit up everywhere, Twitter.
Yes.
So let's get into it. So Elon Musk made an offer to Twitter, and Twitter's accepted. Now it hasn't gone through yet. It takes months of looking at paperwork, due diligence. The government has to look at this. Blah blah blah. At any point, Elon Musk can pull out, or Twitter can pull out. So it's not a done deal yet. But there were so many people upset yesterday. They were leaving, they were going to other places, they were mad. And what do I always say about don't build on rented land? Don't do it. Your
Nope.
business. Now it's okay to tweet what you have for lunch, or I'm at the gardens, I'm at the park, or that's great. But if you're talking about, using the tools for business, which is what we do here, you don't want to put all your eggs in the Twitter basket, and you shouldn't have. Twitter should have been a promote strategy, not a build strategy. See, people get
Mm.
that confused, and we got to talk about it. So I was really excited. I said, "Oh, here we go, another paid own media topic." So does
Right.
everybody get why you want to promote on social media, not build on social media? Are we finally getting it?
I hope so, because you've been saying it for years, since the days of the B word. You and other people have been telling us we need to get our own, have our own space where people,
Right.
where you got them in your house, not
Right. You want them in your house. You don't want them in Twitter's house. Now, there's a couple people I follow on Twitter that they are the Twitter gurus, so to speak. And I'm thinking, like, what are they? What was going through their mind yesterday? Now, see, here's another thing. Hey, Carlos is here. Say hi, Carlos.
hey,
Good
Carlos.
morning from Vegas. Vegas. I know Carlos has some
Woo-hoo.
things to say. Um, let's get this straight. You want to promote, yeah, and let's put this up. I want to put this up. Carlos says Twitter is dead. Twitter's been dead for a long time. It was weekend at Bernie's and nobody knew. Honestly, it was dead already. Now I love Twitter. People love Twitter, but the amount of users they had that were active were abysmal. A very tiny amount.
Right.
Active users, daily active users is what drives a social media platform, not users. Users are people that sign up for an account and never come back. You don't want those. You want DAU, daily active users. Twitter did not have a lot of them. Snapchat has more DAU than Twitter, and we talked about that on Friday. I mentioned that Friday that Snapchat has posted very nice Q1 earnings in their earnings report for Q1 quarter one of 2022. Now, are they going to beat Facebook? No, they don't want to do that. Snapchat knows its lane. Twitter is one of those, is like, it's like the original, one of the original platforms for social media, and it was one of the places where people didn't know what to do with it. So then news took it over, journalists took it over. There's different Twitters, Black Twitter, this Twitter, that Twitter, where what that is a congregation of people that talk about cultural things or things that they have in common.
Right.
That
Um,
amount of users. So there's about 333 Americans, and we're talking US usage. I'm not talking worldwide. So I think the number was like 20%. I think it was like 20% of that number had signed up for Twitter. And let me bring this up because I found this from Pew. What is this? Pew Research.
Yeah,
Pew
Carlos said
Research.
he never really used it.
Yeah, so let's talk about Carlos's comments while I bring up this
Yeah,
screen share.
he said he never really used Twitter, and then Elon, he's talking about bought an empty paper bag. That's why they
Mhm,
took the money.
mhm.
Best con game ever.
I agree. I agree. Now let me see if I can get this a little bigger. I'm gonna read it. Not gonna read everything. So what Twitter has are lurkers. You know what a lurker is? The person that they look, but they don't join the conversation. So Twitter had tons of lurkers because of 45 and other things. And they're saying that half of US adults who use Twitter, 49% post fewer than 5 tweets per month. Let me see if I can get this a little bigger. Can we see that?
Yeah,
This
I
this
can
first
see it.
one? Okay, let me see if I can get that to come up. All right. So most adult lurkers are between 30 and 49. Here's the frequent tweeters, 18 to 29, 30 to 49, 50 to 60, and 65 plus. So see the 65 plus, very small number on both
Mhm.
cases. Now look, 30 to 49, 32% frequent tweeters, 59% infrequent. That means that they post fewer than 5 tweets per month since they open an account. And you have to look at this. Twitter was already dead.
And so it's just the people who use Twitter, the small people that are using Twitter are the ones that are all up in arms.
Right. Right. So it's a small amount. Twitter's a niche platform. It's niche. It's for news junkies, people who watch TV entertainment, and if you want to tweet your opinion, you can go there and you can kind of be anonymous versus where Facebook, they want you to sign up as a person. Twitter, you can sign up with an email and a password and just think of a handle, and you're off to the races to say whatever you want within reason. But you have to see that they're saying that this for entertainment. See, that was the first thing I listed was Twitter's used for entertainment,
Mm-hmm.
a way to stay informed.
Right,
Let me
because
see.
you'll know what hit the news
Right.
quickly first.
Right. Twitter gets the news before your news channel will get the news.
Mm-hmm.
The mainstream media will get the news from Twitter. They will vet it, and the journalists will go through their things that they go through, but the idea where they get stories, because journalists needs to get stories, your news channel needs to get stories. They have producers that do that go out, and it used to be before Twitter, they would go in the neighborhood, or I heard this story about this, and they would go investigate. So now
Right.
they don't have to do that anymore. They just go to Twitter. So this is some of the things that they use Twitter for. Let me see different points of view. Good for that. Keeping me connected to other people. A way to express my opinions. You can go on Twitter and express your opinions better than you can do on Facebook, because there might be a blowback from people because it's friends and family. So there might be things that you want to say about a particular topic, especially top politics. We getting into that you might not say on Facebook, but you'll definitely go over to Twitter because you got one or two or more people. A lot of people have more than one handle because it's
Right.
anonymous, really.
Right.
And
And
then the last one that said is useful for my job or school. So I'm gonna bring this back down.
yeah,
I just want that's some of the numbers.
and it's very small numbers.
Yeah. I mean, I can look. I believe that was from 2021. Let me see.
No,
Yeah, March
I mean,
16th.
it's very small because even with our Twitter, for BizChicks, I mean, there's very few people that we hear from. You or some other people that we've done work with BizChicks is about all the people that are communicating with us. You know what I mean?
Right.
But if I want to learn something, I'll go in there. Okay, what's trending?
What's trending? or
and
you
just
search.
right,
Mm-hmm.
and go over there quickly to see what's happening and then get out.
Twitter's if you're a business, Twitter's a great place to have an account so you can do some research because
Yes,
people are sharing their opinions. People are
right.
giving their thoughts on products and services, or they went to your competitor and they had a good time or a bad time. They will share that on Twitter. That's information you need to know because it fills in the gaps. Fills in the gaps. Years ago, because I work for advertising agency. Years ago, we had to do focus groups. They still do them, but you don't have to now. There's other
You
ways of doing it. But we would, get a sample of people that were this age, this demographic, this married, single, what their income, and get them in a room and ask them questions.
and it works. This is a better focus group because these people are from all.
This is better than a focus group because these are people that are sharing their opinions
Mhm,
without prompt from
right,
the company or the agency, the marketing agency or the advertising agency, because they know they're in a focus group. They might not know the product or it might be for Procter and Gamble, Coca-Cola, Pepsi. They don't know that, but they know, hey, what do you think of this new soda that has a flavor and it's colorless and this and that, and then you get their opinions. See, this Twitter, you get it from, you just search and you get like a snapshot of, and it's not really the water cooler, so to say, but it
mhm.
kind of is. And it's not as factual as you could do the focus group. They still do them because that way they get to control the questions and this and that. But this will give you, like, if you can't afford a focus group, you're going to go on and ask a question. You can ask a question yourself and see what comes through, or you could search through and say what questions or what thoughts or what people are saying about a particular thing that's pertaining to your business. And you didn't have to tweet. You just sign up, or you could just use the search feature without even having a Twitter account.
There have been so many opinions as to what is going to happen if Mr. Musk decides to continue or this deal goes through.
Nobody
People are
knows.
freaking out. I was like, calm down, y'all.
Well, they're freaking, well, because Twitter is like one of those last areas where you could just say what you want to say without kind of repercussion of, oh, you're Mr. Johnson down the block. I'm your neighbor, and I didn't know you thought about that, especially politics. So they could go
right.
on as Bad Bunny 356 and say what they need to say and get it all out. So they feel like, and nobody knows what Musk is going to do. He has been mum. They're just projecting that he's going to make people sign up with an ID. You're going to have to be a real person on Twitter, and that's messing up the party. That's how they see it. Messing up the party.
And there was no indication that was going to happen, but people's imaginations are starting to.
Because the absence of information, that's what happens.
Right.
And this, you see this on the news whenever there's an accident, like a major accident or something, and they do this all the time in New York. Something happens and the anchors come on and they just talk because they don't have, they're waiting for the on the street reporters to get back to them with the information,
With the details.
right? So then they talk, they fill in the blank, they bring in experts, speculate, because there's the absence of information. So when there's an absence of information like this, people are just going to the worst thought ever. And like Carlos has said, he bought something that it's not what he thinks. It's not what he thinks. So
And then maybe he's looking at change, because some people was like, he's gonna change it, and
we
I'm
don't
getting
know
off
that.
the ship. I was like,
They're saying
seriously?
that he's gonna let 45 back in. He's gonna do this. It's going to be a place for the Republic, the far right, to take over. You don't know anything. You don't know what he's gonna do with it.
And
You don't
is
know.
he gonna take it back private? Because right now I'm like, it's
Yeah,
a
it'll
publicly.
be a private company. It'll be
Ah,
a private company when he completes the purchase. This is a private company, no longer public. So that's
ah.
another thing. So that's where the he's going to make people send their driver's license in. He hasn't Elon Musk hasn't said one word about what he's going to do because it's not, the deal's not finished, number one. And
Right.
number two, he's got to think about what he wants to do. Maybe this was an impulse buy. And he like, oh snap, now I got to do something with it. Or he could just let it lie down like a broken toy. But my point is that I follow a lot of people on they're the Twitter this and Twitter that, and you can grow your business with Twitter and do this with Twitter. So if your brand is you're the Twitter guru and Twitter changes to something that's not the way it was before, what do you do?
Now,
And this,
because now the training videos are going to have to change. You're going to have to go in there and revise that course, because
you might not have a business. I know personally, I think 2 or 3 people, not personally, but I follow them. This happened with Google Plus. There was a guy I followed years ago, Google Plus. He was the Google Plus guru, and he had Google Plus webinars and and the Google Plus membership and the Google Plus convention and the this and that. Where is he now?
Not on Google Plus.
He's nowhere. He's moved on to something else.
And there are people who were doing that with, okay, we're going to teach you how to do Facebook ads. I'm like, yeah, right. Or I'm going to teach you how to do Instagram for.
Well, I would stick with Facebook. I would love to be the Facebook ad person, because that's not going away anytime soon. But I don't want to be the Twitter. I'm the Twitter marketing guru, because I'm like, no, I don't focus on a specific platform, because that platform is here today, gone tomorrow. Right. MySpace, anybody.
Yep.
Friendster, Friend Feed. What was the one? Vero, that was a few years ago. They were like, oh, this is gonna kill Instagram. Where is it?
Right, because they were really trying to get us to believe that.
Yeah, Vero's going, oh yeah, you got to go over. And they were on Instagram telling people to go to Vero. I was like, nope, I'm staying right here with the big boy until the big boy fall.
It's amazing. There have been so many apps that have come through, and they're nowhere to be found.
And see, the thing is, I mean, I'm not laughing at the person, and I know one of these people I follow, that their thing is Twitter this and Twitter that. Twitter, they have a podcast about Twitter. They have a weekly chat about Twitter. I'm like, well, what is that person going to do if Twitter falls? Or Elon could say, I'm closing it. He could do anything. It's his toy. He could let it lay on the ground and it gets overrun with bots, and it's already overrun with bots, but people that MAGA people or this people or that people, and he could not care, and it won't be a pleasant neighborhood to be in, is my point. But you branded yourself as the guru of Twitter. No, just don't do that. Don't do that. The only person that I would think that I would think, if you can brand yourself like the Facebook ads or the Facebook marketing or Facebook groups, that is a safer bet. Because Facebook is around. It's not dead yet. So,
well, I think Twitter Blue may be making a surge. When I mean things may be going the Twitter Blue route. You know what I mean? The paid thing.
Well, the quarterly earnings come out on Thursday, so I'm interested in that, to see, because they have to show that they're grown. They have to show some revenue growth, some user growth. They have to show some growth. If they haven't done that,
well, my stock was up yesterday.
Yeah,
with my little one.
The quarterly, the Q1 earnings haven't come out yet. That comes out Thursday.
Yeah, my little one share went up. I was like, oh, okay.
I would hold on to it. I'm not saying
I'm not crazy.
See, that's the thing. Twitter's still there on your app. Is still working the same as before. But what this is change. New ownership means change. And I'll give you a good example. The apartment building I live in, it's been sold after so many years. They had one family that owned it. And now a corporation bought it. So now all my neighbors are all up in arms. What are they going to do? Are we going condo and corn? I don't know. I was like, did you get some paperwork from the new owners? You don't know what they're going to do. Until you get a certified letter in the mail, chill. So the only
It's
thing
just
they send around is like, information on how to pay next month's bill, and they're gonna do electronically, blah blah blah. So it's just crazy that the lack of information here again, the lack of information, a black hole of information, people gonna fill it with their own fears.
right.
That's what it is, a
And
fear.
that you are absolutely correct, because the stuff I was reading on the feed yesterday, I was
They
like,
were
you
nuts yesterday. Oh my God. I'm shutting down my account, and I'm going to this, and I'm going to that. And I'm
going
going, where are
where?
you going? Don't, and then there's other people. Don't leave that. It was like being at the airport, everybody, I'm packing my bags, I'm getting on the next flight out of here. I was
To
like,
where?
okay.
Where will you go? You know what I mean? What, you gonna go to TikTok? Because you don't understand that.
Right.
You don't go to, you're gonna go to Snap. You don't want to be on Facebook or Instagram. So where are you gonna go?
See, this is the key. There is nowhere to go. Then that was the thing yesterday. People were like, well, I'm going to try. I think one was Counter Social, but then they found out that the guy that started it had tweeted something years ago about Hillary Clinton and the Ferguson stuff and what's his name, Trayvon Martin. So that person had tweeted a lot of negative stuff. So people that went over to Counter Social, now they're on Twitter going, don't go over there because the guy's problematic.
Yep.
So here's the deal. What are you going to do? Are you going to promote, or are you going to build? Are you going to build your own? You going to build your own land? That means your own websites, people. Websites is still around. Oh, I don't need no web. I heard that from Gen Z. The whole, when Facebook went down, when Instagram went down, when this and we said you need a list, you need a website, you need something that you pay for. I don't need no list. I run my business off of Facebook. I run my business off of Twitter. Okay, so now Twitter has a new owner, and we don't know. So what's your plan? Well, get ready for some change. There will be changes. Who knows what there will be, but there will be changes. Well, that's what happens when there's new ownership.
There's always change.
Yes.
You just don't want to, but there's always
but you
change.
have to prepare for it. Be ready for it.
Right.
Don't brand yourself the Google Plus guru when Google Plus is dead. and don't say it can't go. Right.
And TJ, we've been telling them for years, okay, get your own database, have all your little people in your basket.
And then the database, speaking of that, they're getting rid of the cookies. Cookies are going. So what you're going to do about the first party, third party data? Well, you got to get your own. You got to gather your own people up. Now, it's not easy. It's a lot of hard work. But when you do it, it's wonderful when the sea of change comes and you're in your arc. You're good.
You're all good. You got
good.
your
We in the arc. We good. We good.
But got my life vest on them. I'll be all good.
Don't say anything Facebook can fall. It's not anytime soon, but it can. Look at Twitter. Twitter hasn't fallen, but there's some change afoot. There's a new owner. I'm a new sheriff in town, and I'm running things the way I want to run them.
And we should have been aware when the CEO said, I'm out and I'm going to Square.
Yes, whenever and this is with Instagram, when I knew that the founders left. Remember, we talked about that years before they integrated.
Yes.
Yeah, I said the two founders left. Why? And they never said why. It came out later, but I was like, that's not a good sign, because that was their baby. So they sold it, because they sold the baby, Instagram, and they stayed with the baby. Right. Oh, mom and dad, they're still with the baby. And then all of a sudden they left. Right. The baby behind. Who does that? So that's your sign. So what can you do as business owners? Well, you want to gather your own information. You want to have your own party. You want to build your own house. And when I mean that, there are other tools out there to build community. The BizChicks has, what do you have? The not Circle. They have something else. BizChicks.net.
Yeah, BizChicksTV.net, and it will take you to our Luma page. So yeah, you want to be in a community, you need to build your community pretty much.
Yeah. Yes. This is an example of that. That's why I said promote versus build. So you want to build your own, but you want to still use social media to promote.
Yes.
That's a announcement channel. It's a broadcast channel. You broadcast what you have, and I always say you direct them call to action to you where
Yes.
you live. You bought that. That's mine. Come on over. I'm over there. And see, people want to get, I'm gonna call it lazy and say, well, I'm just gonna coast on Instagram. They love Instagram. They love building their business on Instagram because Instagram gives them all these business tools, the tagging, the shops, the this and that, and they're taking a percentage of your money, of your sales. When you own your own, who's taking a percentage? You get the whole pie.
The payment processor might get a little something, but other than that, you get to keep.
Right. You're not getting 100% of the sales because Instagram says, hey, I facilitated that sale. Here's my fee. 3%, 2%, whatever the percentage. So do you want to give them that? That's okay with you. But again, you don't own that. And when they want to change something or they want to, well, we're doing this and that and it affects your business, then you're in a boat that, you're not the captain of. So.
And we're telling you, I think a lot of people don't understand that they do need to learn how to have their own data, their own bank of people. You need to know how to.
You need a system, and systems. You need knowledge, or you hire somebody to build it for you. You can have a small system, medium, big, depending on what your output is, but you need a system. A system means you need a plan of action of this is what I'm doing to market and brand my business. We've been talking about branding a lot because that's the difference. That the branding is the thing that elevates you above all the other people that are doing what you're doing.
And when they come to see you, you now have a place where you keep them. That's your CRM, your database, your website, someplace where you
system. That's why I like to call it it could be a website, it could be Kajabi, it could be anything, it could be teach any of these things, any of these systems. But you need to have the knowledge, which is why we talk about it here, and then you actually have to do it. And it sounds like a lot of work. It is a lot of work to have a blueprint and build a house from the blueprint. Right?
No, you mean
isn't that a lot of work? Isn't it stressful to build a new house? Right?
If try building one without the architect's plans, you got to sit down and do the plans first.
Right.
Before you start gathering the materials.
But here's the key: once you build that house, what happens? It's there.
Yep. And then your house is there. You can
the building I live in is a pre-war built. It was built in 1906. It's still standing. It's still here.
Some people use really good product when they did the house. They didn't do like 1970.
But that's what it is. You build it and then it's built, and then you sit back and go, now I can just, maybe I'll paint the wall next year or what. But those are little incremental changes, but you built the house. So
and you're ready.
Right. And think about all the churches in Europe that are hundreds of years, thousands of years old.
Mm-hmm.
They were built. And once you build it, that's over.
And here's the thing, it was built for the people to gather there, right? And so the people come and gather there. Hopefully they're keeping records of the people who come. You're supposed to keep records.
You're supposed to. So, I mean, that's why I talk about this a lot. And when this news came yesterday and I saw the pandemonium and this and that, I said, well, you got to build. And it's never too late to build. It sounds like a great, big, gigantic task, but it's not. So you come here, you get the information you need from me and the BizChicks every day. There's something to talk about where you build your house. And you do it brick by brick.
We're here to help you build a profitable business.
There you go.
And so we want to do it in a way that you get as much information so that you're not confused And I love the idea. We might need to do a workshop, taking them using the house design. Okay, what's your plan? Because some people
Yeah.
jump into
What's your
business and don't
plan?
have a plan.
They don't. Never too late to plan. Never
Mm-mm.
too late to build. Never too late. Never too late. All right, so I'm gonna continue talking about this at 12 noon. Here's where you can find me. TerryJohnsonOnline.live. There's a post in the BizChicks Facebook group and a post on the BizChicks Facebook page. So you
Page,
can
yes.
go there. There's a post that will direct you. There's a link. And we're gonna talk more about owned media.
Right. And
Owned
if you're
media.
right, and if you know where to find Terry Johnson Online.live, go there. If you can't figure out where to go to Terry Johnson Online.live.
Right.
Okay.
And
And
then go
then
to BizChick.
yeah, BizChicks.net. You can become a part of our community. There's no fee to do so. And then we want to promote you and what it is that you do. So join the community, BizChicks.net. And we look forward to seeing you in about 30 minutes.
Yeah, about 12 noon, 9 a.m. Pacific time.
Yes, 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard
Eastern
Time.
time.
TJ, thank you. This has been insightful, and it's a good reminder for people. Get your own stuff, people. So,
See you later, everybody.
all right. Don't forget to go to the front of your own line. We'll see you soon.